haven't actually introduced myself as Nikki at the start of the video, so hey, I'm Nikki, hey, on the video. You know, being the headmate that isn't the original or the host or whatever can be kind of lonely at times. A lot of people only really think of, like, I guess, those guys, like the original and that, when they think about talking to a system. Like, I cannot fathom the amount of times I've been fronting, and then someone forgot, and they just, like, talked about miimii again and again. It's really annoying, you know? Also makes me feel like I can't really be myself, because, you know, they're expecting them to be miimii, and I don't want to mischaracterize miimii, because it's me. Then again, maybe if I did, like, a Nikki thing, like, kind of call a bitch, maybe then they get the thought, the vibe, the message, and that. I have, like, major stage fright right now. I think of the two people in the system that this affects the most, it's definitely me and Mithra. Because us two are the most social outside of you know who. I'm still also kind of brash. Yeah, I'm more brash, she's more just confident, that Mithra. I guess it's mostly, like, parents as well. They're the ones that seem to not, like, quite get it. All my younger friends seem to understand it better. I think. I don't know, it's not the sort of thing I talk about much, and that's a shame. I want to chat about myself, and I don't really get the opportunity to do that, you know? It's a shame. My social skills are so bad. There's a lot more awkwardness to it as well. Like, being part of a community. Like, we'd want to sign off as who we are individually, but that'd be kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Unless you're in an explicitly plural space, yeah? Again, I like swearing and miimii really does not. Nor does, like, April and June or whatever. I remember, like, Emily. She really likes Pokemon and that. So obviously she wanted to have people to play Pokemon with. But it's, like, really awkward to do that because, I guess most people would know miimii, and miimii also is interested in that series because, of course, she is. The copycat she is. Means that Emily and the rest of us, honestly, had to, like, keep it to ourselves. There's also, like, issues with save files and Nintendo Switch Online and all of that. It's also a time thing because there's so many of us in the system, it's kind of hard to, like, have everyone interact on a similar level. Obviously, not all of us want to interact. Yeah, some of us are definitely more social than others. But, you know, I like talking about stuff that everyone else in the system gets up to. You know, like talking about Pyra's exploits at, like, the safari park and extended family members that miimii somehow forgot about. Of course she did. Or Emily, like, playing Pokemon Ultra Moon and having to take a break every now and then. Or, like, what else has happened? I guess Aya's played a bit of Minecraft. A bit. A very small bit. She made a Zen garden for me. Because she's trying to, like, overcome some perfectionism and stuff. I'm proud of her. Because perfectionism and, like, worrying about ruining her space with something that's unfitting was always a big worry for her. So letting her make more and more, I guess, outlandish things would help her confidence quite a lot. But back to the point. People are so worried and, like, they don't know what to say to someone that's plural, so it's the sort of thing that I don't get to talk about much because people are always worried about saying the wrong thing to us. I can't imagine my brashness is helping in that aspect, but whatever. I guess people are worried about asking what I did and worrying that that's not like a thing you should ask systems. Maybe it just doesn't cross their mind or something. I don't know. Maybe they're worried about piling it on too much, like talking too much about the system. Especially because of disorders and whatnot. They wouldn't want to egg it on, maybe. That's annoying. I see the same thing happening with trans people. Like, they're not, they're not nosy and not, whatever. People might not be comfortable asking trans people about stuff because they're worried about offending them or embarrassing them or whatever. It's the same thing with plural people, I think. Not helped by the fact that plural rap is woefully awful or woefully inadequate or just non-existent. It's annoying. Social stuff and social confusion is the main thing I want to talk about, but there's some other stuff in there. Like, passive influence has been awfully annoying lately. Like, there was that time that I wanted to do something, but, like, Mimi was extremely nervous about tomorrow, so I just couldn't enjoy what I was doing because Mimi was in the back of my mind, being all nervy and that. So it felt like I'd have to, like, switch to her, and then she'd have to sort herself out before I could do something, which, that's annoying, isn't it? Is that just a me thing, or have any of you experienced that? Once again, I'm asking for validation. Validation. Ah, classic. Also, having to split off hunting time so much is also annoying. I know, like, I wanted to play Minecraft for, like, basically this entire week, but she hasn't really gotten around to it because Mimi was extremely busy with, like, online friends and chatting and whatnot. And then there's always that nervousness in the back of her head that when she would, like, get on the game, she would, like, get creative shock and not be able to enjoy herself. So I guess somewhere in her mind it was like, we'd rather not take the risk on her switching in and not enjoying it. So I'd rather just stay to safe stuff. And that is really annoying. It's also not the most assertive person in the world, so she doesn't have the confidence to push through that and ask for fronting time like me and Mifra would. I guess that means I've got to be the one to campaign for her, huh? I can do that. I can do that just fine. There's also a lot of annoying stuff having to reintroduce ourselves or reacclimate ourselves. Like, we have a PA that comes around, like, daily, basically. And it's kind of annoying having to, like, reacclimate each headmate to them, since whenever someone new switches in, there's, like, a ton of nervousness, and they're kind of stuck, I guess. Especially with the more... Actually, no, it kind of happens to all of us pretty equally. Whether we're, like, confident or more nervous, all get kind of nervous in that. It's interesting, huh? I've really been talking for, like, 12 minutes, huh? Wow. I sure can yammer on a lot. And time does fly when you're yapping. Not all this stuff, I'm sure some of it will get cut, specifically all the pauses in my voice when I just didn't have anything to say. I don't know if that's, like, a natural thing or an autism moment, TM. what I was gonna say was like, okay, where was I? Was I on about like PAs or was I on about the risk of repeating? I guess I could just cut this. The risk of repeating myself, like, there's the AF thing where like, yeah, it was I was on about worrying that like I was on about that feeling where like there's the worry that we'd switch in and not enjoy ourselves and then just like waste time, and Mimi hates wasting time. Especially because there's so many of us that we need a lot of time. We need all the time we can get, yeah? And I don't think any of us have the confidence to like switch in and do something. A lot of times we just switch in and feel bored and then I don't even know what we do after that. Have I kept the mic too close? Gotta remember not to do that. I guess as a system we've got to improve on like switching in and doing something of our own volition. Or even just like switching in, vibing, being bored and whatever. It helps that we've had like people to talk to online now. So I guess we could do that if we're bored, maybe, potentially. You know what's really annoying though? When like we want to get to do something, and then like a friend comes in and is like, "Oh, you want to do this thing that Mimi really wants to do?" And then Mimi's like, "Oh, I should go do this. Would you mind letting me switch in?" It's so annoying. Like I get it. Playing Pokemon Champions doesn't come around every day, so I guess go ahead. But like, it takes quite a bit of effort to switch in and try and do something, and having that taken away, it's just annoying. You know, sometimes I wish someone would like come up to me or like come up to like I guess Mimi and give a proposition that I'd want to do, like I don't know, yapping about something or uh I guess just socializing or banter or something like that. I guess it's hard because Mimi seems to like everything that everyone else likes, at least to some extent. Huh. I guess I just wish someone would explicitly say, "Hey, Nikki, do you want to do something?" Rather than just asking Mimi or the whole system. But I doubt that'll ever happen. Whatever. Again, people don't want to offend us by just only talking to me, I guess. Singlets. Stuff like this makes me hope I can find someone that's plural to befriend. Because I feel like they would like get what I'm on about better than a singlet who hasn't gone for this sort of thing. Not saying that singlets won't give me empathy, but you gotta be one to know one, yeah? Right? Totally? I'm getting good at this mic stuff, aren't I? Haven't had a break in a while. The whole Mipper thing is just being yourself and spouting whatever you can. Guess that works well. I just really respect her for doing that at some point. I was at like a club with like a cricket game. Long story. Won't get into it now. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? I guess food can be kind of awkward because we have slightly different tastes. It's mostly the same, but like they're just ever so slightly different, and because of autism, we can be really picky eaters. So it can just be a tad annoying sometimes. Especially with weirdly enough Pyra and Mithra, those two seem to have like somewhat significant food differences. Though I guess one nice thing about like I don't know Greg's is that they brought out like a chicken roll. So like some of us like the sausage roll and some of us want the chicken roll. So it's nice having a second option if the first one doesn't appeal to us, you know? We really need to be more adventurous with our food and try new things. I know Pyre wants to do that. Pyre is really good at trying new things, you know? Have I gone this whole video without saying that I'm Nikki? That would be sad, wouldn't it? Shut up, computer. So I guess I'm Nikki and I'm out. Sure, why not? See ya.